What's up, guys? Ben Samulak here. I am here today with my lovely wife, Jackie. Hi, Jackie. Say hi to everyone. Hey, guys. Okay, she loves to be on camera, so okay. So we're gonna get started, talking about why life insurance is important. She wanted to come on today, just to let all the wives, the female single ladies, whatever, everybody out there on that side of the spectrum, just to encourage them to think about having some protection for you and your family. Okay. Of course, I've been out here doing videos, just letting people know how it's important to have some, protection in place for if something, God forbid, were to happen to you, then, your family's protected. For me, it was my motivation to want to do this is being able to make sure my wife could continue if something happened to me, maintaining the home, paying the home off, having money for her to have a little extra so that she wouldn't have to be so worried about not having money for the kids, for herself. Also making sure there's money for the kids' college. I don't want to leave them in a place where they potentially may not be able to go to college or just really struggle or suffer for that. And then also, I don't want to have to rely on a GoFundMe on my friends and family to have to take care of my wife when I could have put something in place. When there is something like life insurance that you can set up for your family and only pay like $100 or less to make sure that your family has, to 500,000 to $1 million tax free, if something were to happen to you. And then my wife, I, of course, wanted to protect myself with her being covered because I got two kids and I have to work. I'm the sole income earner. If something were to happen to her, then I would have to have, someone take care of the kids. I'd have to have childcare. I mean, there's a lot in, and having to have one person now, working and also having to maintain the home. And it just sounds really, it could be overbearing, to me. And then potentially having to move in with family and my wife and me, we've been in our house 23 years, 22 years, right? And 22 years, and she's not going to want to go back. When we were younger, of course, I'm thinking, yeah, you can go to live with my parents or you can live with your parents. But now, after having her own home for 20 plus years, having the kids, she's not going to want to go move into some room, pull the kids out of the school. My daughter's in, she's been in the same school now going on fifth grade. She's going to have to leave all her friends and just have all the unknown and uncertainties and pressures now in their life because I didn't, set them up when I could have with a small amount. So I'll introduce my wife Jackie. I wanted her to kind of give her side to it because she wanted to also just let people know why it's important and just her feeling whatever. Go ahead, Jackie.
I think importance of life insurance is just for security for your family. So if like Ben passed away, tomorrow or something, I just have the security, knowing that, we're able to pay for our mortgage and taxes and car payments and, insurance, all the different bills that add up. And for myself, I can just work part-time because of like our family dynamics. Just timing wise, that's all I can really do. So it'd be really hard for me to be able to pay all the different bills. And if something did happen, we just really have to rely on our family and different things, which can be hard for them too, to put them in that situation. Yeah, and like some of the stuff he said, like we have to move out of state probably to live with family. And that'd be just another thing that'd be super hard on the kids, with already the loss of a parent, but then also having to move from where they're comfortable, what they know,
Hmm.
and stuff like that. So I think just to have that as security, um, that peace of mind that if something does happen, um, that we'd be taken care of in a good way.
Yeah, that's great. So simple as that, it gives you options, it gives you choices. So with her, if I were to pass, I don't want her not to have any options or choices and be forced to do something she doesn't want to do. So that's why. And last thing I want to say is you want to do this like my dad was raised by a single mom, so he really didn't share too much of these things with me. And as you see on my channel, a lot of things I've been learning and I want to present to people and share with people because I see how it's been helping me in my life. And I wish I would have known younger what I know now, it would have helped, would have helped me out a lot more. But that's okay because if you get life insurance when you're younger, you're healthier, you're younger, it's cheaper. It's a lot cheaper. And you're gonna have potentially a spouse one day. You're gonna have kids. So even if you don't, or if you do have a spouse, you're gonna have kids one day. You're gonna get older. Eventually you're gonna get, and we all hate to say it, we're gonna get sick and die. It's not if, it's when. So you will eventually cash in on it, depending sooner or later, hopefully later, that's what we all hope. So it's something that people just don't think about. But as you get older, it gets more expensive. As you get sicker, you possibly can't even qualify. So that's something that I would recommend and encourage people to look into even while you're younger. That's the best time, while you're healthy, while you're young and it's cheaper, okay? And then also, if you already have life insurance, you might be like, "Yeah, Ben, I agree with you. I got it for me and my family. I'm licensed by, I'm contracted by a number of carriers, and I'm licensed pretty much in every state. So if you want me to check to see, hey, typically if you get it with a company like a State Farm or somebody, they only have one option for you, and it's usually just whatever it is. They're not gonna be able to look to see what's the cheapest thing out there. So I'm like a broker in that sense. I can look around and see if there's something that potentially we can get you a lower monthly payment, get you more coverage. So in that sense, if you ever want to just reach out to me, my email's in the description box to either give you some information if you don't have any, or if you do have any, if you're wanting, hey Ben, can you get me a better rate and see if you can get me more insurance? We can talk about that and I can just help you out in any way I can. Okay. So that being said, thank you, Jackie, my beautiful wife, for coming on and helping me, and we just presenting here what our feeling and what we thought could be helpful to you guys and something that you might want to know about. So like I said, thanks for tuning in. Hopefully, she'll join me again down the road. I keep, bugging her to help me out and do some videos, my better half. So, make it a lot better. But that being said, thanks for tuning in. Ben Sam like here. Remember, like, subscribe. We got a lot more great videos coming out in investing in finance to help you guys and how to better your life and hopefully put you on a better path. And see you next time. Thanks for tuning in. Ben Sam like here and Jackie Samulak. See you guys later. Bye.